Finding missing angle measures using right triangle trigonometry. So, to find a missing angle measure in a right triangle given two sides, we want to identify the adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse. Choose sine, cosine, or tangent, write the equation, and then apply the inverse operation to both sides. When I say inverse operation, I'm talking about sine, cosine, and tangent are functions. So we can apply inverse sine, inverse cosine, or inverse tangent to both sides, and that will undo the function. You can't divide by sine. You can't. You have to use inverse sine. We can also call it arc sine, and that's the long way to spell that is arc sine. You can use arc. You can call it arc sine or inverse sine, but either way, you have to do this in order to find the angle that was the original input. So let's take this. This is our reference angle. Here's opposite. Here's our hypotenuse. So sine is the function that relates opposite to hypotenuse. So opposite was 8, and hypotenuse was 26. So now we have to do the inverse sine of both sides in order to get rid of it. We can't divide by sine. We have to say question mark equals inverse sine of 8 over 26. So now we type that into our calculator, and that would give us approximately 18 degrees. Here we use here's our reference angle, our opposite and our adjacent sides. Opposite and adjacent are related with tangent of question mark equals 26 over 44. So the opposite of tangent is inverse tangent. So when we apply that to both sides, we get question mark equals arctangent of 26 over 44. So I took the inverse tangent of both sides. You can think of this as I did this, and inverse tangent and tangent canceled out. They're inverse operations. So then we get this. Now we say 26 divided by 44, and then take the arctangent of it, and that's going to give me approximately 31 degrees. Here we have the adjacent and the hypotenuse, so that's cosine. So we'll have to use arc cosine in order to find the angle. We take the arc cosine of both sides. Arc cosine of 19 over 32. So arc cosine of the ratio gives us the angle measure. 19 divided by 32 is about 0.6, and then when we take the arc cosine of that, we get 54 degrees approximately. Here I was given extra information. Here's opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. We only need 2 of these, so you can pick your favorite. I'm going to choose sine just because it's the first one. So sine of question mark is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite over hypotenuse. And now we can do the inverse sine of that. So inverse sine of the ratio will give us the angle. And that is approximately 53 degrees. Last one here. Let's do tangent. So we'll use opposite and adjacent. Tangent of question mark is going to be 36 over 48. So we want to do inverse tangent of 36 over 48. 36 over 48 gives us 0.75, and when we take the inverse tangent of that, we get approximately 37 degrees. So this is how we find missing angle measures. You want to identify the adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse. use sine, cosine, or tangent, depending on what sides you're given. Write the equation, and then the inverse operation, arc sine, arc cosine, or arc tangent. You apply that to both sides, and then you get the value of the angle. So this 37, what it means is this angle is 37 degrees. We could also use that to find what the other angle is, but that's not for this.